Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Recha Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and who teach well. And salutations to the elect, Adawan Ratazah, which means Lord willing. So Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So, yeah. You see the article on your screen, okay? And, yeah, basically another step closer, all right? Another step closer. So, yeah, article from The Guardian. This was put up very recently, Thursday the 23rd of October 2025, okay? And, yeah, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer lays out vision for much criticised digital ID scheme, okay? Prime Minister says that identification would never be needed to access hospitals amid fears over civil liberties, all right? Keir Starmer has set out his vision for digital IDs as he fights to win back public support for the scheme. The Prime Minister's plan for digital IDs was met with criticism when it was announced last month and was described as a symptom of his open quote reverse Midas touch end quote. All right, you know, you have people over here marching and protesting against it. All right, petition signed against it too. Okay, you know, so you know, at the same time it's like they want to appease the the people, but ultimately they're gonna come down with great wrath because they know they have but a short time. Okay, because all roads leads to the RFID micro chip. Okay, this digital ID is just like the groundwork for it. All right. Concerns have been raised over civil liberties and cybersecurity, but Starmer insisted that the identification system would never be needed to get into the hospital after fears about its potential impact on accessing public services and data protection. You know, these devils say one thing and then do another. That's how they get down. Okay? And they're going to make it when you need it to, to work and stuff like that. All right? Obviously, as they've said. All right? You see? They're going to make it where you need it to basically operate in society. All right? Or else how are you going to get paid? If you and stuff like that, how are you going to eat? All right? And of course, you must not take the MOTB. All right? So lucky for that. He told staff at a Barclays branch in Brighton on Thursday that digital ID would really help, that's in quotes, with security for customers after they told him they dealt with victims of scams and fraud every day. He says customers at the bank had told him they were, open quote, really excited about it, end quote, and had relayed, open quote, everyday examples where you can just cut the faff, end quote. He also told the BBC you'll never need ID to get into a hospital or anything like that. And for people who simply don't want it, well, they don't need it, apart from the right to work, because we do need to stop people working illegally in our country to do that. And I mentioned in a video in the past how, they could really stop the votes. They could really put a stop to that. Okay, they're just using it as a farce. All right. The idea of having ID on your phone is not that far removed from having bank accounts on your phone or any other apps that people have on their phones, he said. In a video posted to X, formerly known as Twitter, Starmer said the Barclays customers he had spoken to were really up for it. And I think once you understand just how much easier it'll make life, so many more people will be too, yeah. Of course they're going to push that. Things are way much more convenient. You can get, access to this quicker and all that. All right. It says more than 2.9 million people have signed a petition against the measures and net support for digital ID cards, and fell from 35% in the early summer to 14% after Starmer's announcement in September, according to polling by More Common. The government believes digital IDs could be given to every British citizen and legal resident, so even those without passports or driving license can open a bank account, get a job or apply for a mortgage, letting people prove who they are digitally instead of sending physical documents or paying for private verification services. And again, this is all going to lead to the digital all, okay? All right? And if you go through with this, you can kiss goodbye to your privacy and to your rights, okay? That'll be gone. All right? Digital surveillance, basically. All right? Psalm chapter 55 verse 21 reads, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart," meaning mind. "His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." You see that? So they're acting, as if they're coming in peace, but really, the demons, man, okay? They're coming off as, as lamb-like, soft and meek and gentle, all right? But there's a sinister agenda, wicked agenda behind it, man, okay? And, soon they're going to implement drastic measures, draconian laws, okay? There'll be martial law on the streets, all right? So things are going to get wild, okay? Yep, this is from the Times. Britons will never need digital ID for NHS, says Starmer. That's from the Times one day ago. See, they say one thing and something else. Do something else. LBC, digital ID will make life easier for millions, writes Sir Keir Starmer. Right, sir, now, man. Yeah. With just the swipe of a finger, you can now easily organize your finances, buy your clothes, order a takeaway, or book a holiday. And yet this often sits uneasily with the old bureaucracy that shapes our lives. The passport photocopy you need to apply for a job, the old electricity bill you need to open a bank account, the driving license, if you're lucky enough to be a baby-faced, you just need to buy a pint. Such low-level bureaucracy has almost become part of our national fabric. We gumble and get on with it. See? Now we say what ITVX one day ago. Starmer insists digital ID will never be used to put Brits under surveillance. Alright? And of course, these are puppets, man. Alright? Doing the job of the elites. The elites want complete control over everybody, complete dominance, surveillance, to know where you are, to know what you're thinking, to know what you're about to do, to knowing everything about you. Because of course I have that God complex. Alright? Sir Keir Starmer has insisted a digital ID will not be used to track every aspect of a person's life, and the scheme will expand to a social scoring system like the one used in China. Really, it'll do just that. They're basically saying they're not going to do what they're actually going to do. The Prime Minister has been taking questions on digital ID in a bid to dispel what Number 10 says is the misinformation and conspiracy theories about the policy, which is opposed by millions of people in the UK. Yeah. Let's get 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. And it reads, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Let's go into the word devices in the Greek. And it is
Strong's G 3540 Naima.
Yeah, mental perception, thought, and evil purpose, that which thinks, the minds, the thoughts, the purposes, yeah? Okay. And the Lord is angry at the wicked every day, man. You see? And the Lord created, the wicked for the day of evil. Okay? So we're not ignorant to Satan's devices. We're not ignorant to what these devils are up to whatsoever. Because we're watching, we're being circumspect. All right? And we're going to just constantly hear more about the digital ID. Okay? More news regarding it. You see? We've got to be sober and be vigilant. Okay? And again, this all leads to the charagma, the mark. Okay? Because ultimately they want everyone C-hipped, micro C-hipped. An RFID micro C-hip inserted in everybody. Okay? No more keys. Just swipe, open your car door with your hand, whatever. Just swipe, or just hover your hand near it and it'll just scan your hand and you'll open the door, whatever. Okay? Same for making transactions. This is what they want. To have everyone C-hipped. Okay? That's what it all boils down to, man. Alright, so, we're not going to be tossed to and fro. Alright, we're going to, again, remain, steady, set, focused, straightforward. Okay? Because they've got evil intentions. They'll even maybe start deducting money or, taking away certain rights if you don't agree with what it is that they want to do. Okay? But yeah, I'm gonna end the lesson there. I'm gonna say Kal Halal Yahal Bashim Al Shai Bashim Rakak Wadash Wa Mawath Lababal. Okay? And Shalom to the elect.